my little Luxes? Welcome to another Charsie Chats, and I'm your host, usually a cosplayer, but today I am just Charsie Lux because I'm not really in a cosplay today. I am kind of just a very loose interpretation, a modernized idea of Alice in Wonderland, since our theme is Alice meets Malice for the month of April. And I was the cute little white rabbit the last time, but I just wanted to be really nice, laid back, and simple. Also for the fact that if I want to turn around and go do some errands and go do some grocery shopping, I could just do that. I don't have to take a quick shower, wash off my face, you know, blah blah blah. Just all those little details that you don't have to have, but today has just been one of those weird days. It's beautiful outside, it's in the 70s, but at the same time it is super windy, like ridiculously windy. And I'm also getting warm because I got 2 ring lights set up in here for helping with the camera and everything else, but I had to shut off the fans, or at least I have the one that is like way down the hallway right now trying to blow on me, but I had to close the window due to the fact that since it's so windy, my neighbor's wind chimes are going crazy. And the last thing I need in the background is just a whole bunch of like really loud wind chimes. I mean, even with the window closed, I bet you could still hear them. So forewarning, that's what's going on that you can hear. So if that tinkling sound. Granted, I love the sound of wind chimes, but obviously I can't control every little thing that happens in the environment around me. But I just got done recording my movie review for Alice in Terrorland, so I'm incredibly excited to get that one done and up. Obviously, this one is going to be up before that because my Charsie Chats are my nice and easy going type of ideas. Sometimes I'll put a little bit more like editing into it, but for the most part my Charsie Chats are supposed to be very straightforward, just me talking to the void at this point, and at the same time communicating with all of you, especially if we're coming up with different things that go on. But I just wanted to come on here just to give a nice update, let everybody know that I'm doing pretty good right now. And I'm extremely thankful to all of my close friends that you guys have been helping me working through everything that's been going on. And I unfortunately had a very bad Easter this year. And before, I didn't want to talk about it because it's like, one, I needed to kind of heal and get past my anger for it, but my family decided to not invite me this year. Even though I had reached out to my mom and I had asked her like what were the plans, and she never got back to me. So I don't know, it's just always these things that are in the back of your mind where you're wondering why, what the heck happened. And I mean, it's a long story due to the fact that it's like there's certain members of my family that I want nothing to do with anymore, and it's just always a mess. And I know everybody's got different problems with family members, and you always have those certain family members that just don't know how to shut their mouth, and there's something wrong with them too. I think I've even done a few shorts from like other holidays prior where I'm just like, does everyone have a type of crazy aunt out there? And I was shocked how many people had answered me and said that, yeah, they have a crazy aunt as well. Well, I definitely have a crazy aunt. But I don't know what it was about Easter, and knowing that my family got together, had an Easter, but didn't say anything to me. And it's going to be one of those where I'm eventually going to have a conversation with my mom to find out what the hell, essentially. But anyway, we're going to push that off because it's one of those where I'm thankful for my soul family. And that if my blood family doesn't want anything to do with me because of the fact that while I was healing and while I was so just, well, when I was at my worst, I self-isolated. And anybody that suffers from depression, you 100% understand exactly what I'm talking about. And it has nothing to do with anyone else. when your mind is so destroyed, you just don't think anybody else wants anything to do with you. And I felt safer being by myself and being home than I would anywhere. And with my social anxiety getting to the way it is, and I'm also to the point where I'm 100% upfront and blunt with everybody. And it gets to the point where my family's like, you're judgmental, and it's like, it's not judgmental, it's honest. And it's weird, if you're just telling someone exactly what you see that they're doing, and they turn it around and try to make it negative and say this is being judgmental, and it's like, if you think it's judgmental, maybe stop doing that negative thing, and then people wouldn't be able to point it out. You know, having certain family members do really terrible, horrible things, and if you spell it out for them, they don't take too kindly to it. So I always think it's funny when people try to turn that around on people who are honest. And they're like, you're so judgmental. It's like, am I judgmental, or are you just a really bad human being? Now, obviously, I'm being very vague about things. I'm not airing all the dirty laundry from my family, because my God, the stories I could tell. I might just start doing like deep dive like vlogs on my Patreon and talk about this stuff. One, to vent about it and get it off my chest, but at the same time, it's just, I want there to be examples for people that if you're going through something similar, to know that you're not alone, and that what these family members are doing are not okay. Or certain friends, and that if you have certain toxic friendships that are taking advantage of you and manipulating you, that's not okay. So it's a good way to talk about it, to also have that example to others if they're going through something similar. Like that Reesa Teesa thing that blew up on TikTok. And I think there's even a playlist here on YouTube now that Reesa Teesa had come out and did like a 50-part series talking about her crummy ex-husband that she had met just before COVID and the pandemic and that. And she talked about how manipulative and a pathological liar that he was. And I think she even named the series like, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So definitely lines, there's a lot of stuff that has happened in my life that it would be one of those where it's like, one, therapeutic just to kind of get it out there, because I'm the type of person that I like to journal and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's a good example for others that if you're going through something similar, you can know you're not alone and that it's not okay. People cannot treat you like this. So there's a huge difference between the generation before me, especially for my mom, and which is the weirdest, most ironic thing, is that she was always the type of person to look at me and say, break the chains. But then she would always be the one to say, oh, well, you have to forgive this person even though they did something horrendous, because they're family, they're blood is thicker than water. And it's like, I need to look at my mom and be like, I don't think you fully understand what breaking the chains means, because breaking the chains means you're breaking away from the toxicity, and you can set boundaries for yourself to protect yourself, because they're not for other people. Boundaries are for you and yourself. And if other people aren't able to comply to what you need, you have to step back. So that's why I self-isolated, especially for my healing process and that. And it wasn't against anybody else. And I think that's my biggest telltale sign, is that the people that take offense to it and totally turned on me, especially when I came to them and explained to them exactly what was going on after the fact, and once I finally was taking therapy and working through it, it's interesting to see the people that are there and are understanding, and then you have the others where they're just gone and disappear. But at the same time, it's not skin off of my back at this point, because I'm to the point where I have my soul family. I have my inner circle. They are my family to me. And I love and appreciate every single one of you. And you help heal me. And I'm finally able to process through all of that shit. And I'm getting better. And I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more like myself. I'm letting my old sassy side come back out. And it's weird. It's only been about 3-4 years that I've been going through this journey, but getting back to even working on myself, and also trying to get back on my health journey as well, because while my stress level was so through the roof and my depression was out of control, that my health went to shit on so many levels. So I'm thankful for my friends Dawn and Sarah that they're helping to motivate me forward. So I'm pushing myself more for my physical health journey just as much as my emotional and mental. And as I like to say all the time, emotional and mental health is just as important as physical health. I mean, we have to take care of us in a whole. And we have to remember that us ourselves, the most important thing is to love and appreciate us and who we are. And obviously it sucks when you get in that mindset and you can't break yourself free of it. But when I'm in a good health space, when I'm in a good mind space, I'm at my best. And I notice that when negative things happen around me, they don't affect me as much. I'm still a work in progress, it's still baby steps, but I'm miles better than where I was. And yes, I'm still gonna have a lot of bad days, and especially like what happened on Easter, that broke me for a good 24 hours. And it just was one of those things where it's like, am I not good enough? Like, why did nobody reach out to me? Why did nobody get back to me when I messaged them? When I had even told my mom a month ahead of time, like, hey, what are the plans? She had kind of skimmed over it. And I told her, I'm like, as soon as you know, please let me know. So yes, it affected me. But at the same time, I'm worked well. And like I said, I'll still have my bad moments. It will still affect me. But it's okay. It's what I do with it. And am I gonna let it destroy me? Or am I just going to find a way to just learn from this situation and for me to get stronger? And I give myself credit for working through my traumas. I give myself credit for doing the work, moving past it. And working on me and helping me makes me realize that I want to keep helping the people that I love and adore. I want to keep helping those that are struggling the same way as me. But I have to get back to that old me at the same time. This wasn't what I was planning on talking about today. I was planning on talking about my fun trip with my husband to the mines of Spain so that we could go hiking and everything. So maybe I'll save that and do another Charsie Chats just so I have another one lined up. Because, you know, I never know what my schedule is like anymore. Like I've been saying, I've been looking for some part-time work and everything. It's such a lovely economy we're in right now. And the price of everything is going up and it's ridiculous. And I can't stand the fact that it's like they'll finally raise minimum wage, but when minimum wage raises, then they gotta raise the price of everything else. And it's like, you know what? I think these companies would be surprised that if they just left the prices alone and people would spend more money. And they're talking about every year that they're making record high profits, and it's like they shouldn't be right now. And even if they kept their prices at a reasonable price range, they'd still be making record profits, I'm sure, because people could afford everything. People would actually be spending money. And me and my husband are hardly going out to eat anymore. We're hardly doing extra things, and the things that we are going to go do, we're finding cheap things, or we're finding things that are for free, like going hiking at the mines of Spain, going and seeing memorials and that kind of stuff. That's for free. So anyway, we could rant and rave about just how awful our economy is right now, and just the price of everything is ridiculous. I'm honestly waiting for the modernized Boston Tea Party, because I mean something's gonna give at some point. Who knows? But thank you so much for joining me here on Charsie Chats. I love and adore every single one of you. Thank you for coming and spending your day with me, hanging out for just this little bit. Let me know, how was your holiday? How was Easter for you? Tell me your good stories, your positive stories, because the good is what fuels me. It helps me to work past my shitty holiday, knowing that you had an amazing holiday. And if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, including onto my Patreon, which your support greatly helps me in growing in my channel, there will be a link in the description down below. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to all of my fellow Patreon members, and a special shout out to my Ultimate Luxes. So thank you, Kurt, so much for joining me on there. And remember, I'm the afterlife, the party. But I would love for you to come and join me here in the afterlife, the party. And always remember to slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And self-love is the best love you can ever give yourself. And I am learning that because I can tell the difference as I'm getting back to loving me for who I am and not caring what any douchewanger that is online thinks of me. I care about what I think. I care about what my husband thinks. I care about what my friends and soul family think. And they think I'm pretty special. So I hope that you feel the same way about yourself as well. Until next time, my little Luxes, have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye.